My biggest win with the journey has been that inner peace and just that fundamental knowing that I've got full purpose and great deal more happiness.
That was amazing for me, and actually for my whole family. Allowed us to keep this open mind on life and to open to all the opportunities.
I have so much more freedom and self-connection and health and vibrancy. I just feel more alive.
The journey helped me to understand what my emotions are, not to be scared of them.
It changed my life. It cleared all blocks and brought into my consciousness what my heart's desire was.
Now I feel my life is easier. I feel stronger, feel what I feel and find a new solution.
To be free from the burden on my shoulders. I live in the moment now, and I'm open to my emotions from the highest to the lowest.
Until the journey, I didn't really know that I could get to the same depths without using any substance. It's getting easier and easier to connect to the deepest part of myself.
Probably the biggest improvement is my inner life or my inner freedom to be as myself, in myself, not being a victim of circumstances and the other people.
The journey has really been a second chance in life for me. Having permission to dive deep and find out who the real authentic me was and just to be that person has just been wonderful.
When you listen to yourself and when you really touch your soul, something magical happens.
Life is different because of the journey. I feel I have all the tools I need to face whatever life throws at me. Life has become fun.
My biggest win was healing a broken heart, and not once, many times. I would never have been able to be in the position that I am in now had it not been for the journey.
Befriending myself in really accepting who I am, that I am perfectly imperfect and I don't need fixing.
I've gained so much. So there is no one big win. If it had to be named as one thing, I would just say it's life-changing.
It's changed my world, it's changed my life, it's changed me. And it's allowed me to be open and vulnerable and completely transparent.
My biggest win since attending the Journey Intensive has been finding myself. It has been healing, transforming.
I am just so much more receptive and open to whatever God has planned for me. At the very core of me, being able to experience that peace has been priceless.
Well, first of all, a big thank you to all the people speaking here from all around the world. You probably have noticed some of the accents from the people. My name is Gabby Burt. I've been with Brandon in the journey coming up to very nearly 30 years, but a very long time. So from the very early days of the journey, and had the great privilege of accompanying Brandon around the world with the book being offered in so many languages, the seminars being offered all around the world. And then COVID came. And so we had to kind of resolve to transferring the journey work to online. And so it's a huge privilege to welcome you here tonight. And I've been watching the hellos that are coming in the chat box from all over Europe so far, and also from the States, from outside of Europe, from Scotland, from Ireland, from the UK, from Germany, from Slovakia, from the Netherlands. We have quite a few Dutchies here. So can't remember all the places, but I think it goes all the way from the north to the south to the east to the west from London of Europe. And a heartfelt welcome to everybody. It's a session, a discovery session with Brandon, where we find out what the body is trying to tell us. Now, we have this barometer of the soul, and we don't always listen to it. And so we have invited Brandon to speak to us about it. And because I also know that we have quite a large group of newcomers here, people who may have only seen adverts on social media and not have had much time to kind of read up about what we do and who we are. And so I thought I'd give you a little bit of a short guided intro to the journey before Brandon comes on. It's just a few little things. And so let me share my screen, and then oh my God, where is it? Here is it. Just excuse me for one moment. Just need to get it right. I'm not a very good, but I will manage. I will absolutely manage. Here we go. Share and get rid of this and make this. And one more thing to do, and then we get started. Right, there you go. So first of all, for everybody here who's staying to the end, I'll be staying on after Brandon and be here for a live Q&A session. So if whatever we're doing here this evening brings up any questions for you, please save them until the end, and I will do my utmost best to answer it. And then there is also a gift for all of you, for everybody who is here and stays till the end, a free gift for everybody. And this free gift is a signature tool. It's actually the healing breath meditation that will be coming to you. Instant relaxation, feel your stress melt away. So that's what's part of the meditation, the emotional release, where we gently access and release stored emotions, creating space for healing and transformation, and a deep connection to the self. So this is what we can get from the meditation with Brandon. And that's it. And here is some what people have said about the journey. And I think sometimes we kind of try and figure it out, but it's very often is listening to other people, what their experience is, where we can really tune into our heart and figure out, you know. The very day that I finished, I had a health crisis resulting in doctors wanting to remove my uterus, 8 inches of my colon, and to biopsy my lung through an open heart like surgery. I followed Brandon's guidance as best as I understood, and I'm happy to report that all 3 organs were found to be normal and healed each time I showed up for its scheduled surgery. So that's Pamela. Then there was Alan. On more than one occasion, my wife told me that the journey had most likely saved our marriage. Thank you, Brandon, and all those who work so hard bringing the journey message to the world. And then there is another one, and I can't see it properly because I have your images over it, but you can read it from Joanna. So grateful. And she got to discovered the cause of her illness. So there you go. And then today's agenda, what we're doing today is why the journey method is one of the most effective healing methods in the world, that Brandon's own healing journey from a large tumor, how the journey method works, and how you can use the journey method. And then there is the gift time at the end of it. So, and how you can learn the journey method and heal yourself. So here you've got Brandon. She's the founder of the journey method. She's been working for years with Tony Robbins before she actually came, or before she created the journey, or the journey came through her own healing story. When she healed herself from a uterine tumor, 30 years, and since then there have been 30 years of profound healing work all around the world. She's a best-selling author, speaker, and inspirational teacher. And she's the founder of the Journey Method, as I've already told you. That's her book, The Journey, A Practical Guide to Healing Your Life and Setting Yourself Free. Over 1 million copies sold, translated into 23 languages, bestseller in many countries around the world. And she's been endorsed by many celebrities around the world, including Tony Robbins. Many of you probably may know Mitten and Deva Premal and John Gray. And these are just some snapshots from some of our seminars in Brandon's private home, in India, some seminars. So just a little snapshot. And there is a few more of those. And then it's time to bring Brandon into the room. So let's welcome Brandon. I'll be here with you. As I said, I've got a little bit more to share with you at the end of it. And then there is question time. So I'll be around. I'll stay around for any questions that this session may bring up. There is also a guided introspection during that session with Brandon. So there is something where you can actually participate directly and personally. So Chris, let's please bring Brandon into the room, and I wish you a beautiful, beautiful session where we learn what the body is trying to tell us. Have a beautiful time. Thank you.
Thank you, and a heartfelt namaste to everyone. And first of all, I want to thank all of you because you wrote in, so many of you wrote in your deepest challenges, what you're facing in your life. And truthfully, I was very humbled and moved by what you wrote. And it was surprising to me. Of course, I heard from many of you that had serious illness, that had a few people had cancer. One woman had been working holistically with her cancer and had nearly cleared it, but wasn't wholly clear. And she really knew in herself that there was some deep emotional root cause of what was co-creating it. And there were others of you that expressed that there was fibromyalgia here and multiple sclerosis and various aches and pains. And it'll be comforting for all of you who have, written in about various illnesses, that right now there are 3 hospitals in Israel where, let's say you go through a heart operation. And so we work with the medical doctors. And for a week after the operation, you go into what is called a recovery center, which is focused on getting to the emotional root cause of what co-created the illness in the first place. They also have a hospital that specializes in oncology. And so those who have been undergoing cancer treatment, again, they go into the recovery center, and the journey method, which can take you on a journey inside your body to specific cellular locations to really uncover the emotional pain, the trauma, the issues that are buried in your cells, to wholly free them, release them, so that when new cells are born, they're born devoid of that old consciousness as new regenerative cells. There's another hospital that specializes in multiple sclerosis and fibromyalgia, which several of you wrote in about. And again, they are finding, even though these are degenerative illnesses, supposedly, that the people who undergo the journey, they've kept for 5 years the data, and they've done a scientific research on it. They're finding that those with the heart disease are not having recurring heart attacks. Those with cancer are not metastasizing further down the line. Those with fibromyalgia are now beginning to walk, even to dance. And so this should be inspiration for all of you. And the reason it's so effective is because what science has found is that when you feel a strong emotion and you repress it, it releases into your bloodstream a quantifiable biochemistry, which will go to certain cell receptors and block those cells. And if over time illness happens, well, of course it happens in the area where the cells are blocked. And conversely, what's also known is that when we feel our emotions very freely and naturally, kind of like a young child does, our cell receptors remain open. And there was a lot of research done in the field of cellular healing. And they began to find out that our cells all replicate at varying speeds. So for instance, if you have a liver, issue, well, in 6 weeks' time, all the old cells will die off and they'll be replaced by new cells. The same is true for stomach lining. In less than 3 days, you'll have an all-new stomach lining. if you've ever noticed you have a suntan like I do right now, is that in 3 weeks' time, the tan starts to fall away. And that's because the old cells slough off and are replaced by new regenerative cells. But there were scientists who asked, well, why is it when you look at, let's say, a liver with cancer in January, why would it be riddled with cancer in June if it's already replicating all new cells every 6 weeks? And what was postulated at the time that I had the tumor is that stored inside these degenerative cells are these old repressed cell memories. And before that cell dies, it passes on its trauma, its pain, its consciousness, its programming, gets passed on to the next cell generation. So the next cell generation is an exact replica of the previous cell generation. As a matter of fact, when I went to go see the doctor, having been diagnosed with this basketball-sized tumor, the first thing she said to me, it probably started as one cell when you were around 8 years old. It duplicated. And then, for the last few months before I actually got in to finally see this famous doctor, the cells were replicating exponentially. And I looked about 6 months pregnant, though I knew that I wasn't. So there's a lot of scientific research on the effect that our emotions have on our body and specifically on our cells. Now, many of you didn't write in with physical issues. There were actually 7 of you that wrote in that you were traumatized by a relationship with a partner who suffers from narcissistic syndrome. And so you felt betrayed, and 50 years of marriage, finally out of it, and you're just completely, swimming in lostness, having had this person who was a narcissist in the relationship. And so there were others of you that spoke about low self-worth and feeling like you can't really, one woman was saying she has a mystery illness where none of the doctors are able to find what's wrong with her, but she feels an overwhelming fatigue. And just, she just feels helpless to what's happening with her body, the pains showing up everywhere. Another woman was speaking about how her negative thoughts, even though she tries to think positively, that they are challenging her all the time. And several of you said you were aware that there was probably an emotional root cause, and that you really wanted to get to whatever that was, be it a trauma, be it a something unexpected that took place, but you're aware something's buried there and that you're running the same patterns over and again. So this is what the journey is really all about. It's all about you learning to get in touch with your body, to really open with what your body is undergoing, to really listen, and to be willing to experience whatever there is inside there. And so if I had to give a metaphor for what the journey is really all about, the best way I could describe it is to say, we all of us come into this world as this radiant, shining awareness, this vast field of love, where we feel ourselves to be part of and connected with all of life. As a matter of fact, science has said that when you're newly born and in the first days and weeks of your life, you feel yourself to be so vast and omnipresent as a vast field of connection, of oneness, that when Mother's hand comes before your eyes, you actually feel Mother's hand as being part of you. That's how vast this enlightened awareness is that we all came in as. So we all came in knowing ourselves to be one with all of existence. But unfortunately, this radiant diamond that we are, this awareness of ourself being part of all of life, it gets covered over with a series of shutdowns where pain is happening and we have no coping skills. And so we shut down, or someone yells at us and we freeze. And once again, we shut down. And it could be something simple, like you could be 3 years old and you're crying about something. And mother says to her, come, we've got to get ready for school, to go to nursery school. You've got to dry those tears. Let's get going. And the little you gets it, oh, I'm not allowed to feel those emotions that make those tears happen. And the first involuntary, automatic shutdown happens. Now you start shutting down one emotion and you start shutting them all down. I can remember I was 8 years old and I came from a domestically very violent background. Part of the way I used to cope with that is I would read my children's books, and I became a voracious reader. And because I was voracious in my reading, that I became a good speller as well. And so I got selected to represent the third graders in my elementary school in a county-wide spelling bee. And we were all meeting, all the schools, all the teachers, all the parents were meeting in this stadium for this spelling bee. And I'll never forget this moment. I was on stage and I'd already spelled 3 difficult words. And then they gave me one of the easiest words in the English language, the word fleet. But I'd not seen that word in any of my children's books. But I had seen the word flea, an insect. And I said, F-L-E-A-T? And the whole audience was hushed. And all at once, it erupted into laughter. Well, no one gave me a manual. How do you deal when everyone you know and care about, your friends, the parents, the teachers, are laughing at you? How do you deal with mass humiliation? And I looked for support to my mom, who was sitting in the 3rd row, and she just shook her head as if I was the greatest disappointment in her life. It just went, and I remember it so clearly. It was like this wall came slamming down inside of me. And I retreated to the back of the stage where the other losers were. And that day I decided I'm so stupid. I'm just a laughingstock. I'll never be good at anything I do. I'll never succeed at anything or achieve anything. And it's like this, layer upon layer. I can remember when I was 16 years old, I got a crush on this boy, and I tried to impress him. And you know how that goes. I made a total out-and-out fool of myself. And I watched the first love in my life literally run out of my life. And I was running after him. And that day I decided I'm just so unattractive. I'm so unworthy of love. I'll never attract someone I'm attracted to. So it's like this. We, all of us, have these shutdowns. Now, when we become adults, we cover this whole mess of all the trauma, the stuff, the buried issues over with this polished veneer that we present to the world, where we say, oh no, I'm responsible, you can count on me, I'm dependable. And then we wonder why it is everyone thinks we're so full of, and you can answer that. And then if you get to be very lucky, as I have been more lucky than I can thank life, God, and the universe for, life gives you a wake-up call. Now, these wake-up calls can come in so many forms. They can come in the form of a loss of a loved one, or in the form of a war, or in the form of COVID lockdowns, or divorce, which many took place during the whole COVID era. It can come in the form of a lost pregnancy, or a lost lover, where there's a breakup. Or in my case, it came in the form of a serious illness. It's where life says to you, wake up. It's time to get real. And you crack through this hardened veneer that you've been presenting to the world. You crack through that mask, and you spontaneously end up opening down through the layers of the lies, the pain, the traumas, the shutdowns, and eventually you end up spontaneously opening into this vast field of love that you came in as, that enlightened awareness that is your soul. And you realize it's been there all along, but like me, you bought into all the layers that covered it. And if you get to be really lucky, you fall so in love with this truth inside, with the love that is your essence, that like me, you will do anything to clear whatever blocks you, whatever holds you back, whatever shuts you down, whatever lampshade you've put over your light, so that this radiant presence can live your life. So if I had to say, what is the journey really about? It's about getting real. It's about cracking through this phony facade that we present to the world, opening down through the layers of the pain, the lies, the shutdowns, the blocks, opening into this infinite intelligence, into this vast field of love that you came in as. This part of you that makes your heart beat and your eyes shine and your hair grow. And it's at this deepest level, at the level of the soul, that you turn the flashlight on inside. And you go on a journey inside your body to specific cellular locations, and you unearth the old traumas that are stored there, the old unmet pain, the buried issues you never wanted to see again. And you go through a gentle but very powerful releasing of that stored consciousness and pain, but also understanding what actually took place for you at that time. And ultimately, you go through a profound process of forgiveness, so that when new cells are born, they're born devoid of that old consciousness as new regenerative cells. So when I was diagnosed with what turned out to be a basketball-sized tumor, and I begged the surgeon that I would be allowed to go on my own internal journey, I was aware of all that was going on in the field of cellular healing. This is 30 years ago. It was in 1992. I was aware of that more than 30 years ago. I'd seen the case studies. I understood how cells replicate. I'd even seen Dr. Deepak Chopra at the time. He had done a radical thing. He was a chief surgeon general for a hospital in Boston, but he did a radical thing as a doctor. He decided that he would study people who had healed without medical intervention, without drugs or surgery. Now, the reason this was so radical at the time in 1992 was that at that time, all the medical field and the alternative field of complementary medicine, we were all focused. What are the symptoms that cause people to become ill that ultimately lead to death? We were focused on failure. But he said, okay, we know enough about what makes people ill. I want to know what makes them heal against the odds without any kind of intervention. And he amassed hundreds and ultimately thousands of case studies together. And he could find that those who did heal had only two qualities in common. One was that through some act of grace or spontaneous event, they actually got access to this that he called the infinite intelligence, that part of you that makes your heart beat, your eyes shine, and your hair grow, this vast field of love that pervades all of existence. The second thing that they had in common is that through some act of grace or spontaneous event, they spontaneously got access to the cell memory that was stored inside the body. And if somehow they managed to release what was stored there and understand it and let go, then when the new cells were born, they were born devoid of that old consciousness as new regenerative cells. The pattern of programming was broken. Now, at the time that I was diagnosed, I knew all this. I'd seen all the science. I'd actually seen the case studies, but I got to tell you something. You can know all the science on the planet. You can see the statistics. You can understand how it's possible, but unless you have a method, it's no more than inspiring words on a page. And that's where I stood after I was diagnosed. And yet somehow I knew I would be guided to heal. And so the journey was born from my complete life-changing journey in 6.5 weeks' time of finding a way for all of us to open into your own soul, into that infinite intelligence, and to go on a journey inside your body to uncover the emotional trauma, the pain, the issues that we didn't have the coping skills to deal with at the time. And through a very profound, gentle, but also quite revelatory process, you release all of that and come to forgiveness so that when new cells are born, they're born devoid of that old consciousness as new regenerative cells. So in a nutshell, all of you who shared that you're aware that there's probably something buried inside, who shared that you believed, some of you said you felt it was the trauma going on. The chances are it was true, that is actually stored inside your body. And obviously it's my prayer that you do the journey before it manifests as illness, that you don't wait like I did until I ended up with a basketball-sized tumor. And so my prayer for all of us here today is that we, all of us, feel called to listen to our bodies, to begin our journeys, and to want to wholly free ourselves of these old patterns, this old pain, this old trauma that no longer serves us and has put a lid over our lives. So even though I would love to give you all the teachings of the journey with how to open into the infinite intelligence and how to go on a journey inside yourselves, obviously that's part of a 3-day seminar, which is hugely deep immersion called the Journey Intensive, where on the first day you're not only getting teachings, but you're undergoing meditations, process works, and also one-to-one process with someone to really open into your own infinite intelligence. And on the second day, you're learning how it is to go on that practical journey inside your body and to really clear the cell memories. And on the third day, we're obviously beginning to go into the more advanced levels of learning how we're codependent in relationships, how to cut cords that have been holding us back, on, changing beliefs that no longer serves us. And so it's a really deeply dynamic and immersive retreat where you are literally not just hearing about the work, but undergoing it. And even so, still tonight, I would like for us to have this chance to begin taking our baby steps towards befriending our bodies, towards this process of being present, That instead of running away from our emotions, denying them, pushing them away, smoking them away, drinking them away, surfing the web to get away from them, that we actually turn inside and go inside the body to begin uncovering what is it your body is trying to tell you. So if you'd like to join me, I'd love to take us into a guided meditation, a guided introspection, where we can begin this toe dip, this opening into listening to the body, being present with your emotions, and opening with what the body is trying to reveal to you. So think of it as a divine experiment, and you've got nothing to lose but some old baggage and everything to gain by just giving it a shot. So let's all together, let's take a nice deep breath in and letting it out and closing the eyes and taking another nice deep breath in and sighing it out. And summoning any stress or tension that you may have brought with you into this session, taking a deep breath in and blowing it out of your room. And now taking a deep breath in of openness and blowing that into your room. And the willingness to explore and open with your own body and listen and feel. Let's blow that willingness into the room. And trust. Trust in yourself. Trust that your soul actually wants you to come home. It wants you to heal. It wants you to clear whatever's blocking you. And it wants you to feel the peace and joy, the freedom and the love that is your essence. So trusting in yourself, trusting in your soul, trusting in this listening to yourself. And now letting your heart be as wide as the world. Wide enough to welcome whatever lives inside this body. That's how vast this vast open sky of all acceptance is. And becoming aware of how vast and open and spacious this field of awareness is in front. How boundlessly free and spacious it is behind. Noticing how vast and open and free it is to all sides. And just resting here right now in this vast, open sky of all acceptance. And into this open sky, welcoming all the feelings that live inside of you, all the emotions that live here. And now let's turn our gaze inside the body. And you already know this. The body is like this container full of all kinds of emotions. And some of our emotions, they're like little kids, you know. Some are loud and attention-seeking. Some are soft and a bit shy. Some of our feelings, you've rejected them so many times that like a rejected little kid, they don't even raise their head anymore. They hide behind closed doors, underneath lids. then so welcome all the feelings that live here. And you might even just say you're sorry that you hadn't listened before, that you haven't welcomed them before. So welcome it all that lives inside of you. And then locating right now a part of your body where there may be a little tension or stress or holding or hiding or contraction going on, locating that right now. And take a deep breath in of acceptance right now. And flooding that area with acceptance. Letting it soften that area and tenderize that area. Marinating that area and opening that area. And if there were a feeling just starting to arise from that area, I wonder what that feeling might be. Might be as quiet as a whisper. But if you were to allow that feeling to arise, what might the feeling be? Just letting it arise. Or if this part of your body could speak and had words, what would it say right now? And as you listen to the words, how do they make you feel emotionally? Just welcoming whatever's here and whatever's not here. And taking a deep breath in and just coming to acceptance inside of you, to neutral. Finding a different part of your body where there may be a little tension or stress or holding or hiding going on. Locate that area right now. Take a deep breath in of acceptance and just flood it with your acceptance. Let that area soften, open up, be tenderized. And if there were a feeling coming out of this second area, what might that feeling be? Might be quiet as a whisper. If there were a feeling, what might it be? Or if this area could speak and had words, what would it say right now? Listen to those words. And as you listen, how do the words make you feel? Or perhaps a picture's coming up out of nowhere. If there is a picture, step into it. How are you feeling in that picture? Or maybe there's a lid over this area. If there is a lid, take hold of it like you would, you peel the can off, peel the lid off of a can of peanuts where you lift it off. Well, take hold of this lid right now and lift it off. What's hiding here? And as you open with that, how does it make you feel emotionally? Welcoming whatever's here and also whatever's not here. Taking a deep breath in of acceptance and coming to neutral. And then finding yet a third part of your body where there may be a little tension or stress or holding or hiding or contraction going on. Locate that area right now. finding that area. And now taking a deep breath in of acceptance and flooding that area with acceptance, letting it soften and be open and be tenderized. And if there were a feeling coming out of there, what might that feeling be? Let it just softly arise. Or if this area could speak and had words, what would it say right now? As you listen to these words, how do they make you feel emotionally? Perhaps a picture showing up. If there is, and there may not be, but if there is, step into it. How are you feeling in that picture? Or if there's a lid, take hold of this lid and lift it off. What's hiding here? As you open with it, how does it make you feel emotionally? Just welcoming whatever's here and also whatever's not here. And take a deep breath in of acceptance and coming to neutral. And now, if it feels appropriate, and only you can know this, you might like to make a promise to yourself that you're going to begin this process of inner listening, really opening with what the body is trying to reveal to you, being willing to feel what's showing up. So if it feels appropriate, and only you can know this, you can make a promise to yourself that you're going to begin this process of listening to your body and opening with what's showing up, being wholly present with yourself. And so taking a nice deep breath in and letting it out. And just becoming aware of your own awareness again, that it's vast and spacious, free and endless in front of you, that it's boundlessly free and endless behind, that it's free and open and spacious to all sides. Just resting here in this vast open sky of all acceptance. Taking another nice deep breath in and sighing it out. And another nice deep breath in and sighing it out. And you can open your eyes now into this vast field of awareness that is your essence. Taking another nice deep breath in and sighing it out. And if the eyes have not yet opened, this is your invitation to open your eyes now. And you can open your eyes now, for those of you that are still with your body. So, beloveds, this was just an opening, a taste, like a toe dip into the waters of what it is your body's trying to tell you. Now, some of you may have uncovered quite deep issues, and others of you, it was softer and more gentle. The truth is, your body will never give you something that you're not ready to face and feel. And so I'd like to welcome you that if you've had some strong emotion to come up, to write it in the chat box. And Gabby will share some of what has been coming up for everyone. And so all kinds of emotions come up, and sometimes very deeper ones, especially if we go into 3 places. It's almost as if your body starts to learn to trust you and is willing to open up deeper and is willing to reveal more fully what's here. So if you've had some strong emotions come up, I'd like to welcome you to write that in the chat box. And Gabby, if you'd be willing to read out some of what's showing up for people.
Sure, I think people are just typing right now at the moment. But
Yeah.
somebody just wrote and said the body wants self-acceptance and trust. And what came up for somebody else was murderous rage and this desire to strike and kill. And then the next one, I don't feel loved enough, and lack of love, anger, extreme nauseousness, something like a wall for years.
Wow. Wow. So these are some deeper issues definitely coming up.
A child begging for love, anger, leave me alone, let me dance and be free. Feelings of rejection, deep sadness, unworthiness and fear, stress and very anxious, anger and shame.
Right. Well, I think those of you who wrote, and probably all of you who didn't write yet, that you're probably aware that this has been operating at a subterranean level inside of you. And then when these new cells are born, they're born with that same programming. And you'll find that you have knee-jerk reactions to life, and you don't know why you're reacting in that negative way. And it's because it's stored inside the body. You know, let's say we're driving in traffic and someone cuts us off, and vroom, up comes this murderous rage. Now, that driver who cut us off, they did not come in the middle of the night and stick that rage there. It was already stored there. All that they did was push our buttons, and vroom, up came the rage. And so all of us have these buried emotional issues stored inside of our bodies. And it really is an invitation, not from me, but from your body, that it's time to begin undergoing your own journey, to begin this listening process. And if your heart feels called, with all my heart, I pray that it does for your sake. I pray that you find yourself at a Journey Intensive online somewhere around the world. They're happening all around the world in all the different time zones, from the North American time zone to European time zone to Australasia time zone for Australia and New Zealand. And just give yourself the gift of uncovering the truth that is your own soul, uncovering this love, this joy, this freedom that is your essence. Give yourself the gift of unblocking, taking the lampshade off your light, letting this radiant love that is your essence shine in your life, to live your life. I know I've been undergoing this work for more than 32 years. Yeah. And for the 25 years before COVID came, every week while I was on tour, and I was on tour 44 weeks of the year in the 39 countries we work in, I got a journey process before I stepped on stage. And the truth is, I never wanted to be so arrogant again as to say I had had it all handled. I know there's more than one issue stored here, and I feel it is a privilege to clear whatever blocks me, holds me back, so that this love that is my essence, that is your essence, can live my life. And so listen to your heart and follow its guidance. I don't think, as one woman wrote, that she ended up hearing about it tonight because it was a coincidence. She knew her soul was ready to hear this teaching. And so listen to your heart and follow your own guidance. And so I deeply look forward to seeing you. And once again, just listen to your body, your heart. This is not work for people of casual interest. This is for fierce lovers of truth who genuinely long to do the work necessary to clear whatever blocks you so that the love that is your essence can live your life. So I pass you over to Gabby and she can share a little bit more. And I look forward to seeing you again online, and a heartfelt namaste.
Thank you, Brandon, and a heartfelt namaste to her and to all of you. And thank you for staying with us. And also thank you for your joining in the experiment, in the divine exploration, and also for sharing what showed up in the meditation. You know, there were some additional ones that are here, like grief and anxiety from Annette, disappointment and helplessness from Lucia, and emotions of self-doubt and disappointment, abandonment, anguish. You know, the thing is, we're just not so connected to our body, and yet from here to kind of down our hips is usually where we start feeling emotions, is where it happens. And we need to take time to get still, to stop for a moment and come inside and check it out. And so it's beautiful work. I have, having been around for that many years and still being here, it's one of the methods that I'm really, really aware that it does what it says it does. And you know, when I was in the 90s, when I was trying to find out what, you know, this one holy grail that kind of takes me into mature age in a healthy and happy way, when I found the journey, I felt like I'd come home. I really had come home, because what Brandon described in her session earlier, you know, that what people have in common is to open into this infinite intelligence and to uncover cell memories. It's being spoken about everywhere, but nobody has a repeatable process that is simple, effective, and allows us to do that. So we can kind of continue to clear out the trauma, the stuff, all of the things that the body is trying to tell us in a very, very gentle and wholesome way, leaving us lighter, more open every time. And so I've got questions here, and I've got a few more slides which I would love to show you, which will already answer some of the questions some of you may have. And I promise I won't take long, but you will get a better overview, and then you don't just have me to look at and to listen to. So just bear with me while I share my screen again. And I just need to set it up once more in a way that makes it nicely visible. And there, one more thing here. La-di-da. And here we got the screen. So what you need to have the journey method work for you. You have to be open-minded. You want a healing method that's gentle, open to new, non-traditional and unconventional. A weekend, and that's really it, a weekend of your time. That is the biggest offering, and you will absolutely be grateful to yourself for the rest of your life. To make this work, you simply need open-mindedness, a method that's gentle, heal the root cause, open to new, non-traditional, unconventional, and a weekend of your time. Who is it for? If it is for you, if you wish to heal or improve your life in the areas of all of this: health, abundance, relationships, unlocking your potential, your lifestyle, effectiveness, career, self-care, inner peace, purpose, and fulfillment. The 3 pillars of the journey, this is really a profound, that's the simplicity and the power of it all at the same time. One of the 3 pillars: identify and clear unresolved emotional and cellular memories. Number 2, you open into the infinite intelligence within, the boundless potential of your true self. These are the main things that help us to clear out anything that is stored through, that we have amassed through life, and integrate the journey in your life for lasting health, vitality, and joy. So these are the 3 pillars. We've got a few more words from other people. Lots of gratitude for what Brandon has created. Freed me from fatigue and a body that was holding, and I mean physically holding, a lot of fear and pain. I feel free now, and I'm excited to spread the word to those who can't read the rest. And then this was the first time I dared to say that my mum didn't treat me well. Since then, I understood a lot and forgave her. Thanks for the journey. So these are kind of just short words of what people say. A gentle way to heal. Your body wisdom offers you the healing. So the body already knows what needs to be healed. It comes from your inner guidance. This is not the mind doing the job. This is the heart and soul guidance of your true self. No external tools, no therapist. You find the answers inside of you. The body wants to heal. Brandon so often says the body is a healing machine. The journey method just helps you allow healing. It's safe and non-traumatizing. Sometimes I hear, well, do I have to go back to an old trauma? It needs to be cleared out, and it's a gentle guiding for you to release emotional pain without reliving the past trauma. Empowers and doesn't overwhelm. The process is designed to feel supportive, not invasive, ensuring you feel in control. Works at your pace. The method meets you where you are, allowing you to heal in a way that feels natural and comfortable. It's simple. It's not complicated. It's simple. Okay, we take the red route on the right here. The Journey Intensive in Europe, the next one is from 1st to 3rd of November. Now you need to be in attendance for the 1st and 2nd. The 3rd is a bonus day. And here is where you experience the journey method live yourself. 2 full days of teachings with Brandon Bays and presented by one of our international co-hosts. Live support from fully qualified journey practitioners, experienced journey processes with fellow participants, and you have downloadable process scripts to use forever. How does it all work? Great question, hey? You sign up at thejourneyintensive.com. Your coupon code to save €100 is autumn25. You will receive the Journey ebook and audiobook link. By the way, as much of this information at the end of the webinar, you will have an email in your inbox. And for example, the coupon code to save the €100 will be in that email. So you don't have to kind of make quick notes here. Just relax. It's all going to be there. On Thursday, before the retreat begins, there will be a live pre-meeting with the co-host. We'll email you the details. What I also would like to say, this is the European Journey Intensive. There are other Journey Intensive. For example, there's one coming up this weekend in German language. There's another one on the US time zone. There is another one on Australian time zone, and it's all on the same. You find all the information on the journeyintensive.com page, okay? So the whole 2-day event plus the pre-meeting take place in real time with a Zoom room like this one today. You will receive live support for the entire duration of the event. It starts on Saturday morning. That's when the weekend retreat begins. And the Monday is a bonus day. Usually most people stay if they can afford the time away from their busy schedule. On day 1, the emotional journey day, you will learn the foundational principles of the journey method, and you will work interactively with your host. You will undergo the first of 2 core journey processes, the emotional journey, together with an assigned partner. You discover the power that lies in the welcoming of beliefs and emotions. So just like we did today, and when we just allow it, we find that in the very heart of it all, we get guided into this infinite intelligence that always is. You learn how to resolve your struggles, have underlying emotional root causes stored in the body and subconscious, and how you can effectively resolve them. On day 2, on the physical journey day, you start with a deeply integrative meditation, after which you have the opportunity to bring questions and insights. We guide you through exercises and connect more deeply to your authentic self. You will learn and experience the physical journey, the second of the 2 core journey processes. And the day will leave you feeling free, empowered, and energized with a uniquely powerful and elegant set of tools you can use in all areas of your life for the rest of your life. And on the bonus day, on the Monday, the Advanced Skills Day, teaches you extremely valuable tools to take your journey process to the next level. You practice and embody what you learn through powerful exercises, meditations, and a full process swap, already including the advanced skills you learned in the morning. After this valuable day, you will be able to work with just about any issue that may arise effectively. And please, this is not a journey practitioner training program. This enables you to work with your friends, with your family, to kind of continue the work. But this is by no way a therapeutic training to become a journey practitioner. This is actually a 1-year-long training that our journey practitioners have done. 6 advanced tools that you learn on this day. And here are some people, these are kind of people who've done the whole training, the year-long training with Brandon. And these guys show up, guys and girls show up at these weekends to support you. Between the sessions, you'll be supported by journey practitioners. They are experienced with a year-long journey method experience, high degree of human support, and very personal to help you process and integrate the journey work. Small groups, very individual, and many trainers. Thus, we have limited seats. You won't do this process alone, so there is plenty of support and help here on the weekend. And you get an individual one-to-one courtesy call from a practitioner after the event. So here is the special price. It's 97 euros. So with using the coupon code Autumn25, you actually get 100 euros off. If you're from the States, it's $100. So it's very similar pricing. We limit the numbers of the seminar to 130 seats, and they usually fill up fast. So the journeyintensive.com has all the information. And this is the time to come and join us. If you've come here, then something is calling you from the inside. So what you get when you join the Journey Intensive, you actually, when you join and sign up, there is another free gift, which is the Welcome Healthy Abundance video course, which is normally priced at 99 euros for free. You learn how to shift from scarcity to abundance, and you are learning step-by-step techniques to align with abundance and attract what you truly desire. Tap into the limitless potential. And then the number 2 gift is a private one-to-one call with a journey practitioner, personal guidance where you receive tailored support to address your unique challenges and goals, deepen your healing, explore unresolved emotional blocks with expert facilitation. You accelerate your progress, focus on the areas that matter most to you for faster breakthroughs. Tailored to your needs, whether it's emotional, physical, or spiritual, the session adapts to your specific situation. We have a group integration call after every Journey Intensive, where we learn how to apply the journey tools in real life situations for lasting change, where we sustain your momentum and keep the energy and clarity from the seminar alive as you transition back to daily life, where we boost confidence in the tools, gain clarity on how to use the techniques independently moving forward. A gentle transition, ease back into daily life while holding on to profound shifts you've experienced. You also get a book called Light in the Heart of Darkness, which are actionable steps and tools to help readers release emotional pain, overcome fear, and reconnect with their inner peace. This was an Amazon bestseller and is written by Brandon Bays and her husband, Kevin Billett, co-authored. You have also an integration into our private community. Oops. Where you have access to content library, direct interaction with the experts, monthly masterclasses. And these are 5 powerful bonuses you get alongside the Journey Intensive. So the Healthy Abundance video course, this is just a summary now. Then the private one-to-one call with a journey practitioner, the group integration call, the Light in the Heart of Darkness book, and access to Mighty Network's private community. And the gift for staying for you today is the healing breath meditation. So that will come to you. And so this is it. Go to the Journey Intensive thejourneyintensive.com, sign up now, coupon code Autumn25, and you save €100. Here are just some pictures of some of our still life retreats in seminar events here in Greece, in India, in the Netherlands, in all over the world. There is also a full refund, a money-back guarantee if there is something that you feel like you didn't like at the weekend. It's I don't remember the last time somebody has asked for this. 0 risk for you, 0 questions asked for a full refund. What if I can't attend the given dates? If you tell us within 7 days of the event, you can choose any other date within a year. So there's plenty of events going on throughout the year, and you can choose a later date if the current or next date doesn't work for you. You are protected by the book now, change later policy. Choose any other Journey Intensive within a year. So just email us 7 days before the seminar and we will change the dates for you for no extra cost. Have people experienced actual change using the methods you teach? Yes. Every day. We have beautiful testimonials. We have videos. You saw some of the videos when we started. You see some of the videos on our website. You have the Wall of Love, which was something that people who participated in our workshops have left congratulations for the journey for the 30th anniversary, which was last year in May. So the journey has been going now for 31 and a half years, and we have an immense accumulation of testimonials and happy people who have healed, who have found freedom, who have found liberation and come home to themselves. So there you go. What if I don't feel comfortable sharing my emotions? Good question. The Journey Method is a private guided process. You'll never be forced to share anything you are not ready to. So nobody's forcing you to share anything. What if I tried other methods and they didn't work? The Journey Method goes deeper than traditional approaches, addressing the root cause of your challenges at a cellular level. And I really know this in my heart and have experienced and witnessed with hundreds and thousands of people all around the world. So yes, and so many times people come to the journey with the words, I've tried everything, and then something happens and coming home, healing happens. What are the technical requirements to participate in this program? Well, a computer with reliable internet connection for live calls. We recommend that you install Zoom for the live sessions and also for the process swaps. If you're here tonight and if you see me, if you see the screen, then you have everything it takes to join the Journey Intensive. And this is actually the last slide, believe it or not. So I stop sharing. Whoops. There you go. sorry, it's many slides, but our team put it together because these are questions we kind of get. And in this way, I know it's a little bit structured, but we feel like we answer pretty much most questions that people have. And I hope it gives you a great overview. Does it work online? Yes, it does. Is it better than or as good as when we were in the live seminar environment? I am one of the international co-hosts for the journey, and I must say I love the format, and the benefits are equally as powerful and profound as they have been in a live room, in a journey seminar, in a seminar hall. My experience is that people are actually less guarded and more relaxed when they experience it in this environment. They're in their own four walls, they're at home, they can kind of take it one step at a time, and it's very private and it's powerful and healing. And Zoom has all of the ways where we can process one-on-one with a partner. So we just go into a little side room where it's just the two of you. Nobody can hear or see you. And if any help is needed, one of our practitioners can pop in and help and support you. So we've been doing this since 2020 in this format. So since COVID started, and it's been such a revelation of what is possible that all of the modules that form the basic Journey Practitioner program are actually presented in that way. And then once you are or have gone through the Journey Intensive, then you qualify for advanced retreats in the journey. Not only that, but also later on, when we've gone through more of the advanced level retreats, you are then invited to some of the live events around the world. We've just done a beautiful event with about 100 people in Prague, all with people who've attended the Journey Practitioner program. And it was amazing, profoundly liberating, deeply healing. And this is always an invitation every year. So this is what's happening. I've got 27. Lucia, how much does a live retreat cost? You need to first of all do the Journey Intensive, and the live retreats, you can get all of the information on our website. If you want to find that out, just go to thejourney.com, and then you have all the tabs. You have the online retreats. Brandon is not scheduled to do anything live for people new to the journey, so you need to go through this format first in order to be with her live. And then she also does regular Q&A sessions every month where you're invited to. So all of that is there, and all of the answers are on the website, even the advanced retreats, if you want to find out where they are, how often they are, and what they cost. And yes, do we offer discounts? There's always early bird discounts, just like we did here for the Journey Intensive. They're usually for a shorter period, but then take action. We find that if you are not, if we don't give you an incentive to do something, it fizzles out, and a week later we have forgotten. And sometimes you've gone as far as here, you've made it to this webinar this evening. So there is a part of you that wants to wake up. There's a part of you that wants to heal. There is a part of you that wants to adopt the journey tools for continued healing. So all it takes, because I don't even consider 97 euros these days, I think it's actually not, it's actually priceless. I'm sorry to say. It's every time I co-host these events, I can't believe what I'm seeing, what I'm witnessing, and to be able to do this for 97 euros, which is something you sometimes pay if you go to a restaurant with your partner. So what it really is 2 days. It's 2 days of your time. And are you worth the time? Are you worth the 2 days it takes to learn this method? Not only to learn it, but to experience it, and to let go of any clouds, to let go of pain, to let go of exhaustion, of tiredness. It's all because we have stuffed emotional issues down here. I've met a doctor in Athens, and we were talking of emotional suppression, and she said, I am convinced that 95% of all illness is due to emotional suppression. And I would concur with that. So there is not a big scientific proof online that tells you that, but this comes from a very, very experienced, amazing doctor here that absolutely is of that opinion. And I've heard similar statements all around. So if we can find out how to uncover, and this is a repeatable, practical, simple and gentle method that we can do over and over again, because surely you would agree we all have more than one issue stored inside of our bodies. If there is anybody, payment methods, you can do PayPal, you can do credit card, no problem at all. We use a credit card system with Stripe. So you can pay in any currency and you can pay by credit card, PayPal. If there's any questions, if there is something that's not working for you or you need some extra support, please contact us at support@thejourney.com and you will have a real person get in touch with you. Even if you want to talk to somebody, same, get in touch with us. Somebody will arrange a time with you that you can actually ask question. But I think the biggest area is the time. Can I also sign up later for the Journey Intensive online in January next year with the discount of €100? I don't know what we're going to do for the Journey Intensive in January, but you can sign up now and then postpone it to that date. I honestly can't tell you. I would if I knew, but things are changing at the moment, so I don't. I don't want to say yes, of course you can. It may be, and prices may change, prices may go up. So there is always shifts and changes happening. If you want to be signed up for €97, do it now and then postpone your participation to January. I'm just scrolling through. Beautiful, somebody signed up, can't wait. Absolutely, I get it. How many hours is it for each? They're full days. So we start at 10 o'clock. So I'm talking about Central European time. We start at 10 o'clock in the morning. We have breaks. We have a mid-morning break and we have an hour for lunch. After lunch, we get you ready for process. And then it depends how long your process is. So you can be finished around 6:30, but by 7:30, most of the people are finished. Some tough people may take a little bit longer, but we are here until the last person is finished. So we will never interrupt the process. But between 6:30 and 7:30, everybody's finished. And then on day 2 and day 3, we all finish together around 6:30, 7 o'clock. And we always start at 10 o'clock in the morning. They are full days, but they are what I feel like that people on the second or third day actually don't want to leave. They don't want to go because it already feels like family, feels like home, because everybody who comes to these events, they are seekers of truth. You know, they're like-minded spirits. They are people who have the same intention as you do. And you feel very comfortable in that environment. Not only that, but we're all open into this vast infinite intelligence that makes your eyes shine, your heart beat, your hair grow. And that is something that will stay with you for the rest of your life. That is what caught me on day 1 of the Journey Intensive all those years ago in 1996. And I'm so grateful to Brandon for birthing this method, for bringing it into the world, and for still making it available today in this format. So if there is something you heard here, if there is something, please, if you have more questions, we have a team that will answer them. Or just if you kind of get the yes from the inside out, just sign up, just come and do it. You will not regret it. I absolutely know that. So there you go. I think what's going to happen in South Africa, Chaya, I don't know. I think Lydia at thejourney.com is the person to ask. Please check for her, but we're on the same time zone. So if people want to join us here on the European time zone, no problem. We're on, South Africa. Africa and Europe is pretty much on the same time zone. So not a problem. It's all available. Here we are. Okay. Somebody said, I'd like to join in April next year because I'm on a long holiday. Lucky you. From November until half February 26th, do I get a reminder? Please just check our website. Absolutely. If you're on our mailing list, you will have another invitation for April next year. I'm absolutely sure of that. I think that brings me to the end. If anybody has any questions, then now is the time. Otherwise, I think I've gone through most of everything that's been asked. Go right to the bottom. But here we are. Anyway, thank you with all my heart for joining us this evening, and I hope I see you along the way. My colleague Arnold Timmerman is the co-host for the next Journey Intensive, 1st, 2nd November, and then next year in January, April, it will be me, and then we'll see what happens after that. So have a beautiful rest of the evening, and with all my love, with all our best regards from Brandon and all of the Journey team here. And thank you to Chris for the technical setup and Olga for doing all the questions and links and everything else in the background. So thank you with all my heart too for you to join us today, for staying with us. And I hope our paths cross at some point in the future. Thank you with all my heart. A heartfelt namaste, and maybe until next time or soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
My biggest win with the journey was being able to access my deepest emotions and free myself from them. I feel more calm and serene.
I found my true calling, and now today I can help others. I love to make an impact. I love to see transformation in others' lives.
For years and years, I used to feel very lonely, and now I just feel a part of everything. I feel I'm alive.
My biggest win with joining the practitioner program is owning my own life back and stepping out of a severe PTSD.
The acceptance of myself and the self-love, so I don't need others to love me. That's perfectly okay.
Life is different now because of joining the journey, because I just live in so much abundance. You know, I get up every day with a joy for living. I want to go to work. I want to meet other people.
My biggest win was the really deep knowing I actually do have the answers. They are within me.
There is a lot more certainty and openness into where I'm heading and how I'm feeling about things.
I feel more connected to life. It's not an easy path for anyone to do healing work, but it's profound.
1, I'm more balanced. 2, I'm more grateful for those persons who helped me in this life. I enrich my life every day with this wisdom.
It's priceless. There's no better, bigger investment we can do in time, money, or energy.
I was a mess before I started with this work, and I healed from lots of different types of abuse, and that's a miracle.
My life now, because of the journey, is transformed. I have confidence. Even if I struggle, it's just I have to let go. It's step after step, and it's no danger at the end.
My biggest win is myself. It doesn't have to be anything else. You can be fulfilled even if you only have yourself.
It's more peaceful. I've learned to process emotions. I learned to be more self-aware, and I've learned when you need to ask for help.
I've been able to have a really deep, long, soulful look at myself, and I've been able to uncover, recover, and heal long-term wounds.
My biggest win being a journey practitioner has been becoming a therapist and a healer, because that's what I never imagined it to be.
I'm living from a place of freedom and choice. I'm really conscious in every moment. Any sentence I say, it's coming from just pure goodness.
I feel more authentic, wearing much less of a mask. It's about being you and feeling good about it.
I can embrace all that is. I'm here to
share my life, my joy. Now I can just be me.
My own journey of healing from cancer is an inspiration for others. I get to work with amazing people, see amazing transformations in their life.
My biggest win is to be yourself. Just be there for other people, to help other people heal, and just to be there.
I know that no matter what comes, I have the right instrument to deal with whatever emotions every situation will bring to me.
It really has helped me come back to a place of wholeness. I feel like completely authentic. I feel genuine. I feel like I'm in my body.
My big win is my courage and my physical healing, my emotional healing. But in one word, I could say freedom.
The journey is all about releasing all of the emotions that create the illness. I was healed physically within 6 weeks while I had been in pain over 3.5 years.